Yai da da yai da yai da yai da yai da yai da hi da la la da 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 hi I da 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 hi da 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 Hi, 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 hi. Hi, 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 hi. Hi, 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 hi. Hi, 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 hi. Yai, nai, 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 nai. Hi, nai, 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 nai. Hi, nai, ai, nai, 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 nai. Hi, nai, ai, nai, 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 nai. Hi, nai, 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 ai, nai, nai, nai. Hi, nai, ai, nai, 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 nai. Hi, nai, 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 ai, nai, nai. Hi, nai, nai. Hi, nai, 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 ai, nai, nai. Are they waiting for me to stop singing before they come in? Are we online? Are we live? We are. All right. Well, Shabbat Shalom to everyone online. Wait, I don't really see everyone. Let me just go to my, what's it called? Speaker view, not the speaker view, gallery view. Hey, all. All right. Well, this is both amazingly wonderful and very strange. It's both a Shehechianu moment, a first, and also confusing for, I'm sure, for me and Cantor Adam. It's a great blessing and gift for all those who are here because they're going to get to be physically present with Cantor Adam for the first time, which is an amazing gift. For those of you, for everybody actually, those here and online, it's a new experience for me and Adam to try to figure out, to look at you and to look at the screen, and we're gonna master it, but it'll take a little time before we figure out the little subtleties of it. It's so amazing to be close, almost to be able to touch each of you. It's so extraordinary. All of a sudden, I feel like there's a whole new energy in my being that is there because of you. And for all of you online, it's amazing to see you. And wait, can the folks online see the folks here? Oh, next time maybe we'll figure that one out. Next time we'll maybe figure that out. Okay. Cantor Adam, should we start?
Yes, let's start.
So in a moment, I'm going to ask dear Mickey to come and light the Shabbat candles. But before I do, Mickey, I want to just, I don't know, kind of return a little bissel of this tradition that I had. Where's Sandy? Where are you? There's so many people here. Where's Sandy Kaplan? I don't see you. Raise your hand. Oh, he's not even in here? Oh, there you are in the back. You know, it's there's this apocryphal story about the new rabbi of a congregation who asks the synagogue president what she should talk about for the Sabbath sermon before a very heated election. And the president of the synagogue says the obvious, talk about, you know, something about Yiddishkeit. That's French. Yiddishkeit is French. And so the new rabbi says, well, okay, great. Maybe I'll talk about Shabbat. And the president says, well, you know, a lot of our members, they sort of do all kinds of stuff that's not exactly by the rules. So they might not love that. So the rabbi says, okay, maybe I'll talk about kashrut. And the president says, well, some of our members, they eat in Chinese restaurants on Sundays, so maybe you should skip that. That was my family. And then the rabbi says, fine, I'll talk about Taharat Mishpacha, which is like sort of the rules around men and women using the mikveh. And the rabbi says, well, you know, the president says, now that you mention it, my wife is scared of water. So I don't think that's a great idea. In that case, what should I talk about? Says the rabbi. Yiddishkeit, of course. So I share this little story, cute little moment, because obviously we sit in a moment of incredible intensity, so much pressure, so much lachatz, so much struggle and confusion and challenge and fear and worry. And at the same time, to be here together, it's incredible. The first time. It's like Nachshon stepping into the sea with the faith that just by stepping in, I'm going to help the sea part. So Yiddishkeit, on the one hand, is the idea, the mission of every synagogue, of every Jewish community. Maybe the pillar, the foundation of Yiddishkeit is all of us being together, as we have so amazingly via Zoom, and also the great blessing of some of us getting to be together physically. So with all of that, with all of the togetherness, the light that togetherness brings via Zoom and being in person, if I could ask you, dear Mickey, to come up and light the Shabbat candles. And for all of us, we're on page 2. And for all of you at home who are lighting candles, first we light and then we bless.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu ladlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you so much, Mickey. We turn to page 12 for Lechuna Ranana, page 12.
Lechun ranena, lechun ranena, lechun ranena, l'Adonai. Lechun ranena, lechun ranena, lechun ranena, l'Adonai. Naria, naria, letzor yishenu, nekar mafanav betoda. Naria, naria, letzor yishenu, bizmirod naria lo. Lechun ranena, lechun ranena, lechun ranena, l'Adonai. Lechun ranena, lechun ranena, lechun ranena, l'Adonai.
Page 13, as we turn to Psalm 96, from 95 to 96.
Shiru l'Adonai שיר חדש. שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני שיר חדש. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai, kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai, shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song. Yismechu hashamayim.
Bottom of 13.
Yismechu hashamayim. Yismechu hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz. Yismechu hashamayim. Yismechu hashamayim. Yismechu hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam, yiram hayam, yiram hayam umlo. Yiram hayam, yiram hayam, yiram hayam umlo. Ya'alo sadai v'chol asher bo, az yiranenu kol hatzeyar. לפני ארוני קיבה, קיבה לשפוט הארץ, לשפוט תבל בצדק, וימים באמונתו.
Page 16.
זמרו לאדוני בכינור, בכינור וכל זמרה. 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 לפני ארוני קיבה, קיבה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט הבל בצדק, וימים במישרים.
Lecha Dodi on page 20.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבורך, ישמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ותפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. Verse 2. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Verse 5. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בא אורך קומי אורי, אורי אורי, שיר דברי, יבוא אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Rise for the final paragraph, paragraph 9. Please feel free to do so.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה, לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Beautiful. Thank you, Cantor Adam. Before we turn to Psalm 92, I just want to, it strikes me, Lecha Dodi, the historical context of Lecha Dodi is that this piyut, this poem, was written in the late 1500s. And it was written because the Jews of Spain suffered the Inquisition in the 1400s. We know this history somewhat. And it was the golden age of Spain, and somehow the golden age of Spain became not so golden, pretty horrific. And so Jews fled. And they wrote this psalm, this piyut, this poem, that you can see, I think it actually, the experience they had is connected to the experience we're having, not because there was a plague per se. On the other hand, the Inquisition probably felt like a plague to people, every bit as bad as maybe coronavirus. But you can see in paragraph 3, you've dwelt long enough in the valley of tears. In paragraph 4, lift yourself up, shake off the dust. Paragraph 5, awake, awake your light. Paragraph 6, an end to shame and degradation. Forget your sorrow, quiet your groans. Paragraph 7, the scavengers are scattered. The Jews of Spain, the mystics who made this prayer and this part of our service so famous and so important, they knew something about the struggles of life that we've been going through. It's a source of inspiration to know that Jews all over the world sing this prayer. When they're lucky enough to live in places where the weather is beautiful, they actually go out right as the sun sets and they sing Lecha Dodi to the sun that's setting. It's a moment of joy, a moment of idealism, and a moment of great hope. With that, we turn to Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat on page 22.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשר ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון וחינוך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שמחתני אדוני בפעלך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. צדיק אתה המנפרע,
22, bottom paragraph.
ארץ בלבנון יזכה, שטובים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפיחו. טוב ינובון בשיבה, דשנים ורעננים יהיו להגיד כי ישר אדוני צורי ולא הבלטה בו.
We go from a psalm for the day of Shabbat 92, specifically to Shabbat, to a psalm as well that's specifically Shabbat, Shalom Aleichem, about the angels in our lives, about our prayer to enable the people in our lives to know that they're angels to us. Page 24.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Melech malachei amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Melech malachei amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zeichem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Melech malachei amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We turn to Chatzi Kaddish on page 26.
Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabah, v'yalmad yivrach ilutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Bagala u'bizman kariv V'yimeru Amen. Yehei shemei Rabba mevorach, me'olam u'lol me'omaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach, Yitbar v'dromam v'yitmaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh, v'yitala, Shmei dekodesha brichu leila, min kol birchata v'shirata.
Please rise.
Jush bechata v'nechemata, tamiran me'alma v'yimeru.
Amen. Page 28, Baruch Hu.
Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Are you listening to my prayer? Baruch Hu et Adonai Amevorach. Baruch Adonai Page 30.
We're on page 30. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from night, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzivaot is your name, ever-living God. May you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני עמדי ורבי.
Page 32, Ahavat Olam. We are loved.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אתה תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ויארך ימינו ויארך ימינו ובהם נהגה יומם ולילה יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
Feel free to be seated if you're standing. 36. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאותה ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בעיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם. On page 37, let's offer this together. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you're tired or you're rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Don't leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They're reminders to do all of God's mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt, become your God. I am Adonai, your God. Page 40, Michamocha.
Moshe u'Miriam Zeili Amnu ve'amru Zeili Amnu ve'amru Adonai
Adonai
Imlo
Leolam
Leolam Va'ed
Adonai
Imlo
Leolam Va'ed
V'nemar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov ugolo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch ata Adonai Gal Yisrael.
Amen. And we turn to page 43 for Hashkivenu.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu ve'amidenu l'shalom.
Let there be love and understanding. You know, you wonder, who's asking this prayer? Who's making this prayer of whom? We're making this prayer of God? Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe God is saying to us in these words, dear human beings, dear humanity, dear peoples, dear Jews, let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter. I know you can do it, God's whispering to us. I believe in you. I have faith in you. I'm certain that it can be done. Maybe for us as Jewish people, we're meant to be a light, to give some glimpse for other peoples in the world what our unique ability to do it. May that be true. May that be not only God's will, but our will.
Ushmotzeitenu uvoinu lechaim ulshalom me'ata ve'ad olam Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'al
We turn to the Shamro on page 44. Abraham Joshua Heschel said in his book, The Sabbath, we're not so keen, us Jews, on building cathedrals like churches that we visit in Europe. We believe we're passionate about building cathedrals, not in space, but in time. Not in space, but in time. The cathedral in time is captured by this central prayer of Shabbat, the Shamru. 44.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש.
We go from the Shamru to our Amidah, our standing prayer. If you'd like to rise, please do so. We're on page 46. 46.
Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תפילתך. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, אלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. Page 50, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל, אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידה מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל.
52.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We take a moment for our own personal private prayers, standing or seated, whatever is your custom or your comfort. We will come back together in a few moments.
Please feel free to continue private meditations at your own pace. You can also join me on page 60 for the evening prayer for peace. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'enecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Baruch ata Adonai, hamavarech et amo Yisrael, bashalom. I put my glasses on and they fog up. Mishaber? Mishaber.
Send in names of in the chat of loved ones. If you all want to share a name, just say it. Not loud enough for you to hear it. Say it loud enough for you to hear it. And we take those prayers. God hears them. We hear our own prayers. Misha Baruch is on page 253.
Mishaberach Yavoteinu מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu, v'kol habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
Amen. Beautiful. Okay. It's such a wonderful experience to get to share this with both all of you on Zoom and also all of you who are physically present. This is an historic moment for many reasons. This Shabbat, this week, is overflowing with historic meaning. 25 years ago today, in about 35 minutes, Yitzhak Rabin will be murdered in Tel Aviv by a Jew, a Jewish Israeli. The 12th of Cheshvan, that's today, at 8:30 p.m. in about 30 minutes, a Jewish Israeli named Yigal Amir murdered another Jewish Israeli, Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin. And minutes before Rabin's murder, 100,000 Jews, Israelis gathered. Actually, I don't know that they're all Jews. Maybe there are some non-Jews. 100,000 people gathered and sang a national favorite, Shir LaShalom, a song of peace. I want to just share for a moment, if I can manage this very complicated, not so complicated, but stressful moment of screen sharing. Sorry, you guys can't see this, those of you who are here, but in the National Library of Israel is the blood-soaked piece of paper that was in Rabin's pocket that has the words of Shir LaShalom. So all of you online, you can see that. This, the 25th anniversary of the murder of Yitzhak Rabin, is a moment of monumental national significance. This is an historic moment for all of humanity as well. About 4 billion people on the planet from the three Abrahamic faiths see Abraham as the father of their tradition, of our tradition. We say Avraham Avinu, Abraham our father in our tradition. And in our Parsha this Shabbat, about 3,000 years ago, Abraham gets his call. Lech lecha, God says to Abraham, go forth. V'heyeh bracha, you must be a blessing. V'nivrechu b'cha kol hamishpachot ha'adama. All the families of the earth must feel that they are blessed, Abraham, by you and by your progeny. The work of your hands and heart must be so vast, Abraham, that your children, that all of the families of the earth must feel blessed by you. Abraham's calling begins this Shabbat. So for much of humanity, this is an historic moment. And of course, this is an historic American moment. We stand at the precipice of electing our next president and Congress of the United States of America. All of us, I dare say, have very strong feelings about the importance of this moment in American history. I, of course, do as well. This is American democracy in action. This historic moment is about power and about leadership. 25 years ago, Yitzhak Rabin's power and leadership was destroyed, gunned down, murdered. Israelis of all communities felt an existential, a tectonic shift. Something was torn, ripped apart, devastated in that moment. In the months preceding Rabin's murder, many images portrayed Rabin as an Adolf Hitler or Yasser Arafat. Doctored photos showed Rabin in a keffiyeh or a Nazi SS uniform. Loud and angry mobs of Jews stood around fires and burned these horrific and fake images. One Israeli commentator described Yitzhak Rabin's life in this very abbreviated way. Yitzhak Rabin was a soldier. He was a better soldier than those who came before or after him. He was commander of the Har El Brigade in the War of Independence in 48, chief of staff in the Six-Day War, and was there on June 7th, 1967, as Israel liberated the old city and the Western Wall. He was prime minister during the raid on Entebbe. How could Israeli Jews ever accuse Rabin of being a traitor or burn his picture in effigy? That was treason. After a year of nasty, fake, false, inflammatory, threatening, and personal attacks, Rabin was murdered. Israel mourned. Israel wept then and today as well. The mourning has not ended. I offer these images, this frame, in no way as a prediction, in no way as an omen, God forbid. I am not a sociologist or historian. I am absolutely not saying that then is now and there is here. Rather, I share this as a memorial to a great man and a great Jew, and a reminder of what is at stake when a society falls to such a low and degraded place. I place before you this contrast. At 8:25 p.m. on the 12th of Cheshvan, in 25 minutes, Israel time, 100,000 Jews in Rabin Square sang Shir LaShalom, a song of peace. And 5 minutes later, at 8:30 p.m., we faced a vicious and vile, murderous act. Song for peace, murder. Song for peace, hatred. Song for peace, falsehood, rank lies. Tonight, as we stand with our parsha at the beginning of Jewish history, I want to teach you about two Jewish images of the hero. Actually, I just want to remind you what you already know. You know all of this. It's mostly just a reminder. But drawing on the thinking of Dr. Micha Goodman, I want to highlight for you two insights about Jewish heroes. We Jews have not one constitution, but two constitutional texts, the Bible and the Talmud. Drawing on Dr. Goodman's work, I want to sharpen our thinking on biblical heroism and also on the Talmudic notion of a hero. And we'll ask the question, do our times, these times, call more for the biblical or the Talmudic hero? Each of you will have your own answer. In truth, our Jewish tradition does not have a term for democracy. There's no halakha telling us to create a democracy or how to. But our tradition does know a ton about law and justice and human dignity and a profound sense of national purpose. Our Bible and Talmud, they are nothing if not the relentless aspiration towards human justice and human dignity. They're nothing if not our blueprint for being an Or LaGoyim, a light unto the nations. We begin our study of Jewish heroes with Abraham. I remind you of one moment. It's next week's Parsha, that at Sodom and Gomorrah. Chalila lecha. God forbid the judge of the world will not do justice. The God of the universe will punish the righteous with the wicked. Abraham here establishes the biblical tradition of demanding that God be righteous and just. Abraham sets the standard for our tradition, for our prophets throughout Jewish history. Like no other tradition, our prophets have shown unimaginable courage, the courage to challenge, to criticize, even to indict the Holy One of Blessing. Don't be confused. This is not God criticizing us. It's Abraham and all our prophets criticizing God. Let me remind you of a few of them. Moses learns this from Abraham. Ha'ish echad yechata v'al kol ha'adet tiksof. O God, source of breath and all flesh, when one man sins, will you be wrathful to the whole community? And then there's Jeremiah. Madua derech rishayim tzalecha. Why do evil people have better lives? Or the prophet Habakkuk. Lama tabit bogdim. Why, God, do you countenance treachery? These are just a few of many, many biblical moments in which our prophets challenge, chastise, criticize God. The Bible, through our prophets, is a masterpiece, an extended tutorial on criticizing authority. It trains us to admire people who criticize God. Torah makes the repeated demand that God, that authority, must be just and righteous. Some call this the Masoret Tochacha Ha'el. If the heroes of our Bible repeatedly criticize God, what does that mean about criticizing the political establishment of every generation? Over and over again, the prophets criticize political leadership as well. Surely, if we have the right, I dare say the religious obligation to criticize God, so too, kings and political leaders. Condemning immoral and unethical politics is central, critical to our national well-being. Not says me, not says Micha Goodman, says our Bible. But the prophetic calling suggests a serious problem with democracy. Most people running for office, candidates seeking power, hold themselves out as prophets. A potentially lethal weakness of democracy is to confuse kings or presidents with prophets. The Bible brilliantly warns about that mistake. According to the Bible, you can't be a prophet and run for office. To run or hold office deprives you of any prophetic claim. That's not me or Dr. Goodman. It's just our Bible. You want to be a prophet? You want to hold yourself out as a prophet? Then resign yourself to powerlessness, to ridicule, to the pain of being ignored. Biblical prophets had no power. Jeremiah, Isaiah, Micah, Habakkuk, and others, they had no authority, no institution behind them. Rather, our prophets are heroes precisely because they never sought power. We as Jews must never confuse power and the hero, power and prophecy. The prophet is the biblical hero solely because of his values, moral and ethics. The Bible's hero is the person who transforms our world solely through morals and spiritual courage and audacity. Here's how Micha Goodman explains it. I quote, "The Bible does not admire people who justify God, but those who criticize God, and likewise, those who criticize the leaders of the political establishment. Our tradition doesn't admire the king, but the prophet, not the person with the power, but one who speaks truth to power. The hero of the Jewish Bible is the prophet, not the king or political leader." As Dr. Goodman says, if we become who we admire, if admiring transforms the admirers, then we must admire the people who oppose abuse of power. That, says Dr. Goodman, is a powerful message for democracy. Democracy needs people who have the courage to stand before the establishment and condemn its weaknesses and its lack of boundaries. That's what the prophets offer us. That's what's necessary to keep democracy alive and vibrant. But Dr. Goodman also reminds us that our tradition has another hero as well, the Talmudic hero. If the prophets were preachers, the heroes of the Talmud were something else. The Talmud opens with a debate. Its very first words record a conversation. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. It's a conversation about the watchword of our faith. God is one. Twice a day, every evening and every morning, we're to recite the Shema. The Talmud opens by asking, how late into the night are we allowed to recite these 6 words? Rabbi Eliezer says it must be said the first part of the night, actually about right now. The sages say that we have until midnight, another couple hours. Rabbi Gamliel, the greatest sage though, he claims we have until dawn. Each of them offers evidence to convince the other. None of them disparage or deny the claim of the others. The Shema is the cornerstone of our Constitution. They could have lodged personal ad hominem attacks against each other, but they don't. As Micha says, if the prophetic hero is a demanding preacher, the Talmudic hero is a pure and genuine listener. Let me share with you another hero of the Talmud. Just as we have a Senate and Supreme Court, so too in Talmudic times. It was called the Sanhedrin. Some 2,000 years ago, the Sanhedrin was the seat of judicial and legislative authority in Israel. Imagine something like a combined Senate and Supreme Court. That was the Sanhedrin. It was the most exclusive intellectual institution in the whole Jewish Commonwealth. But get this crazy, bizarre story. There were a few explicit qualifications for any aspiring member of the 72-person Sanhedrin. This is amazing stuff. Listen to what's expected, what's demanded of any or every candidate seeking to sit on the Sanhedrin. I quote from Masechet Sanhedrin. Rav Yehuda says in the name of Rav, Sheyadua litaher et hasheretz. Candidates for the Sanhedrin must have the following qualification. They must be people who know how to render pure a sheretz, a creeping, impure animal. Crazy, bizarre, but so deep. Let me explain. The sheretz is among the most impure animals to be found in the Torah. It's a creepy, crawly little thing that's totally impure. Most animals create impurity for us, but when we eat them, generally we become impure, says the Torah, through the food we consume. The sheretz, however, is much worse. It causes you to become impure just by touching it. But the only way to qualify for the Sanhedrin is if you can convince the other members of that body that the sheretz is actually pure. This is extraordinary. If the prophets are preachers. The rabbis are listeners. To be a Talmudic hero rather than a biblical hero, you must be able to hear the very best of the other side's thinking. Heroes of the Talmud must fully internalize the ideas, the insights of those with whom they seriously, significantly disagree. And so as I come to my conclusion, what is it that we most need today? Some of us may feel that this is a day for the prophetic hero. Others may feel that the times we live in call for the hero of the Talmud. Most likely, the heroes of the Talmud spoke in a quieter voice than the heroes of the Bible. If the prophets were protesting and preaching, the rabbis were listening and learning from each other. I hope that each of us will answer for ourselves what it is that we need most in our day. Regardless of our answer, however, I'll leave you with this challenge. Can those of us on the right find and appreciate the reasons that are so important, so central to those of us on the left? Can those of us on the left internalize the values, the concerns that are so critical to those of us on the right? A great thinker, Carol Gilligan, offers the term radical listening. She suggests an insight that is exactly what the Talmudic hero was expected to know. Our first instinct, whenever we hear someone with views different from our own, is we immediately argue why they're wrong. But the Talmud, like Carol Gilligan, urged something else. Might our first instinct, how can we transform ourselves so that our first instinct is to ask, not why they're wrong, but why they're right? Meaning, why do they think that they're right? President of Yeshiva University, Ari Berman, he describes these days of Corona as an opportunity to become a community of listeners. So which is it? What does this moment demand most? The prophet, the preacher, the relentless protest, the loud, intense challenge to authority? Or the sage, the spirit, the art of conversation, the persistent, unwavering commitment to hearing those on the other side? The one who can find the purity of even the sherets. I leave it to you to decide for yourself. What do we need for a functioning democracy? Right now, what do we need most? That's the question of this moment. The spirit of the prophets, the hero of the Bible, or the spirit of the rabbis, the hero of the Talmud? Whatever your answer, let me return to where I started. Yitzhak Rabin. The life of Yitzhak Rabin, as I see it, is an answer to our question. The first part of his life, he was a hero of the Bible. The second part of his life, he was a hero of the Talmud. I suspect that this is the formula for every generation and for every human being. May this week ahead be a week of passion and purpose and peace. Shabbat Shalom. Let's rise for Aleinu. No, hold 1 second. We're going to offer the prayer for the nation. Sorry, friends. Chris and Fred, did you get my request? Are you there? Chris and Fred Nauer? Stu, can you find them? I should have told you, Stu, that I was. Are your hands cold? My hands are ice. Hello, Chris and Fred. We're on page 258, a prayer for the nation.
We don't have the book.
We told you we don't have.
We don't have the
We
book.
don't hear them. Is that what? Oh,
Yeah,
all right. So
Sorry.
I didn't realize that.
Sorry.
Okay, forgive me. We'll offer it together.
okay.
Page 258, the first half of the page. Thus says Adonai, this is what I desire, to unlock the fetters of wickedness
and unite
and untie the cords of lawlessness. To let the oppressed go free, to break off every yoke. Share your bread with the hungry, and take the wretched poor into your home. When you see the naked, give clothing, and do not ignore your kin. If you banish the yoke from your midst, the menacing hand, the evil speech, if you offer compassion to the hungry and satisfy the famished creature, then your light shall shine in darkness. Let's rise for Aleinu on 282.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, latein gedula liyotzeh bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol amonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יחיה
Like to be seated, feel free. As always, we remember loved ones. Is anyone here remembering anyone? Yep. You want to say their name? I didn't. Okay. Patricia Friedman in the period of Shloshim, and the Yortzeit for Rose Adelberg and Phoebe Abelo, Minerva Druxerman, David Fried, Molly Galasco, Robert Kagan, Corrine Kreutzer, Abraham Lulav. Oh, I see. Sorry. Yitzchak Rabin, Sylvia Reisman, Alice Shapiro, Isaac Zimmerman, victims of the Tree of Life shooting in Pittsburgh. The anniversary was just a day or two ago. If you're remembering someone as well, want to share the name of a loved one in the text, in the chat, feel free to do so. Mourner's Kaddish is on page 294. If it's your custom to rise, please feel free to do so. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalma divrach urtei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. V'agalav izman kariv v'imru amen.
Amen.
Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lolmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal. Shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'miran v'yalma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, all of Israel. V'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and let us all say one last time, amen. Okay, you can be seated if you'd like. First of all, thank you to so many people, starting with Stu Botwinick, Stu and the Medical Advisory Committee, David, Barbara, David Sutton, the Podwall Sutton, the rest of the committee, Gary Slobin for, having the vision and the magic to make this happen, put all these pieces together. Thank you all a ton. Thank you to Mary Alice, Mickey Dobbin, lighting candles, Dear Shy, beautiful, Cantor Adam, what a gift, a blessing, a pleasure, a privilege to stand up here near you. I was going to say, it is with, near, whatever. For For all of you online, I love seeing you. And for all of you here, it's really something special. I think, Gary, am I right? I think I am. This is the first, it's not the service you've been in physically because you were here for the high holidays. This is your first service as president in which you've had the blessing of being surrounded in whatever way this is by our wonderful Beth-El family. Is that right? It just sort of occurred to me a few minutes ago. I think this is the first time. Okay, well, thank you all and for making that happen. My hands are so cold I can barely think. Maybe just an excuse that I can't think. I'm sure there are other reasons I can't think either. But virtual Oneg, thank you, dear Linda Diamond, for hosting. We'll stay in this Zoom. Tomorrow morning, Torah study. I'm leading Torah study starting at 9 a.m. And we have a wonderful Shabbat morning experience at 10 a.m. A number of congregants chanting Torah. And then our special guests, Jill and Amanda Maddenberg, who are speaking about the stresses, the anxieties, the insights about how to cope with heading off to college very soon, applying to college, so many stresses. I know that a whole bunch of you here have the experience of young people in college. So you're a source of great experience and wisdom as well. Anyway, we're so much looking forward to Jill and Amanda tomorrow morning. Tomorrow evening, Havdalah is 6:30 p.m. And to add, Cantor Adam and Tara and I don't know if you all have seen this or know this, but next Saturday night, which is it's the 7th, my brother's birthday, November 7th, it'll be virtual, but we're going to have a Havdalah of healing, a Havdalah of hope. You know, maybe this week will be totally smooth and easy and all simple, and whatever it is, our prayer and our intention is to bring a sense of connection and contact with each other and caring for each other through this 45-minute experience next week. I thought it begins from 5 to 5:45. This says 5. Am I right? 5 o'clock, is that what? Thank you, Stu. Okay, so next Saturday night, Havdalah of hope and healing, beginning at 5, we'll be done at 5:45. 5:30 or so, we'll begin Havdalah, and I think it'll be a very meaningful thing. Actually, as so many wonderful things that have happened in the last 4 months are really Cantor Adams' inspiration and seed planting. That this is one of them. Okay. What am I leaving out? I mean, there's a lot going on, a lot of adult learning opportunities. Adam, Stu, am I leaving anything important out? Gary, anybody? Ron, Sharon, all you people? Elaine? Oh, if I left anything out, announce.
I'm confident we left something out.
Exactly. Have I left anything crucial out? All right. Tuesday, November 3rd, right, is a Whitney Park cleanup for adults, but also particularly for teens or children. Whitney Park cleanup, David Wolf is organizing that. It's a wonderful way to spend Election Day. And, okay. November 8th, next Sunday, November 8th, Shed the Meds. Global Jewish Cantor Davis. I don't know. There's so many things going on here. It's
Check
too
the
much.
calendar.
Well, read the
your
emails. All right. I want to invite, assuming I've not left anything critical out, the Freemans. Lila, come on, bring your family, your sister, your mom and dad. You guys are going to lead us in Kiddush and Motzi. I want to thank the Margoloffs, of course, for our wonderful, wonderful challah. And yes, thank you. Yay, Lila. So excited. I think today is Michael's birthday. No, yesterday. Yesterday was Michael 29? Sure. He's 29. His hair did gray. His temples grayed over the last couple months, I noticed. All right. Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Amen.
Go for
wait.
it. Go for it. You want to, Cantor, you want to?
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho v'yahava u'v'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh bereshit, ki hu yom techila lemikraei kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim.
Page 5.
Kivanu v'acharta, viltanu kidashta, mikohanim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'yahava u'v'ratzon, inchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-shabbat. Chaim.
Amen. You're allowed to take off your mask to drink some wine or and share it with any of your members of your family. No? Okay. Motzi. Lila, you staying? Where are you going? Come on. Your dad needs your help. Yes, he does. He told me.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. Thank you. Take a piece. You have to take a piece of challah. You can't make the blessing without taking some of the challah. It's the That's true. It's true. You should put it back in the bag, Michael, and take it home.
All right.
But you know, if you don't eat any of the challah, the blessing is nullified if you don't have any of the challah. So remember that whenever you do it. Good, enjoy. Eat. Okay, while they're doing that, Cantor Adam, we conclude with?
We're going to conclude with Shir LeShalom, the song that the rabbi referenced earlier in the evening, which can be found on page 354.
Oh my God, I didn't realize it was in here. That's so great.
Tnu l'shemesh la'alot, laboker le'ha'ir, hazaka shebat tfilot, otanu lo tachzir. Mi asher kavanero uve'afanit man bechi mar lo yairo lo yachziro lakan. Ishotanu lo yashiv mibotachti tafel ka'an lo yilo lo simchat hanitzachon velo shirei halel.
Middle paragraph.
Lachem lashiru shir l'shalom al tilchashu tefillah mutav tashiru shir l'shalom bitzaka gdola tnu l'shemesh lachador מבעל הפרחים, אל תביטו לאחור, הניחו להולכים. שאו עיניים בתקווה, לא דרך כוונות, שירו שיר לאהבה, ולא למלחמות. אל תגידו יום יבוא, הביאו את היום, כי לא חלם הוא, ובכל החקירות הריעו לשלום. לכן רק שירו שיר לשלום, אל תלחשו תפילה, מוטב תשירו שיר לשלום בצעקה גדולה. לכן רק שירו שיר לשלום, אל תלחשו תפילה, מוטב תשירו שיר לשלום בצעקה גדולה. לכן רק שירו שיר לשלום, אל תלחשו תפילה, מוטב תשירו שיר לשלום בצעקה גדולה. שיר לשלום. Shabbat Shalom. Don't applaud a service.